I want to talk about David Moyes. In fact, I'm going to talk about David Moyes because there's been a lot of reactions to the game, to the loss against Wolves. But I said in one of the reviews that we did that I thought Moyes wouldn't have been entirely unhappy with what he saw. Having just read some of the comments from him after the game in his post-match press conference, there's a couple of things that pretty much confirm that, and a couple of alarming comments in particular. But I don't seem to be quite as annoyed as everybody else. I'm not quite feeling the full doom and gloom at the moment. Right, before I talk about that, I just want to tell you later on in this video, after I've talked about David Moyes, we've got Alan, who's Woody. He's sent in an excellent video, basically. But whenever anybody sends in a video for the first time, I like to just introduce them. So coming up after I've finished speaking is Alan, is Woody. Thank you very much for sending in the video, mate. I think he's made some really, really good points in there, by the way. And I also want to thank everybody that's sent in videos to us. If you want to get involved, please do so. Just follow our videos, contact us, let us know, and we will get you involved and get them uploaded for you, so as you can have your opinions. And let's be fair, a lot of people have had a lot of things to get off their chest. Right, David Moyes. You come away from that defeat and it all seems doom and gloom. There was a lot that was wrong. The substitutions were late. The substitutions were ineffective. I said on my video, I thought we had major issues in the middle of the park. When the substitutions came, they didn't address that. The substitutions were to try and fix things out wide. Well, yes, with Traore coming down, we had little defensive lapses out wide, but I just felt we never really got control of the game. We were overrun in midfield, and it's been a real feature for quite a while. Now, some of that can be attributed to Declan Rice going in at centre-back. Yes, when he comes back into midfield, and Moyes has alluded to this, when he comes back into midfield, we'll gain a little bit more control there. Hopefully that comes sooner rather than later, because we've got Ogbonna coming back, and quite frankly, he can't come back soon enough. But it's not just Declan Rice's drive. Declan Rice does provide drive, he provides leadership, he provides determination. But there's a real lack of pace in our central midfield, and there's a lack of cohesive passing and pass and move. And later on in the video, Alan's going to talk to you about how he wants Jack Wilshere to be involved in the next game. And I totally agree. I want to see that. It doesn't matter that Jack's injury prone up until the point when he gets an injury. If Jack's not injured, it doesn't matter that he's injury prone. Do you understand? If he's available, he's a very good footballer. Let's try and get him in there, because I think there's a few changes needed ahead of that Tottenham game, which myself and Gio will be discussing tonight in the preview. That's one I'd certainly be looking to do without giving too many spoilers. That being said, up until the point where Traore carved us open, I think Gio said something in the review last night. He said that he thought Nuno, the Wolves manager, would have been thinking, well, hold on, I'd like to play these every week. I don't think that's how Moyes looked at it. I think certainly up until half-time, probably David Moyes went in and thought, these guys won't want to play against us every week. I didn't feel that Fabianski was under a huge amount of... He didn't have an awful lot to do. So with that in mind, Moyes would have certainly, as frustrated as we were as fans, Moyes would have certainly felt, well, hold on a second, I'm keeping them quiet. This is a very good Wolves team. They can pass the ball, move the ball very well. They have lots of possession. Crikey, there was one point where I actually typed, can we have our ball back, please? They were being a bit cruel, passing it around, not giving it back to us. But I think by and large, Moyes would have felt his tactics were working. And then also, if you look at the certain periods in the game, what Moyes wanted to do was stop them shooting on goal, and then hopefully we hit them on the break. Now, I reckon he probably looked at it and thought, well, hold on, we nearly did that. Had Fornals been a little bit better, we would have scored. Souček drove forward, had a shot, maybe we could have scored. Antonio cut in, maybe we could have scored. Maybe we could have had a penalty. Maybe he thought that. I didn't think it was a penalty, but you understand what I'm saying. As far as Moyes is concerned, Moyes is probably thinking, well, we almost kept them out and we almost scored. Obviously, there's a lot of maybes, a lot of if, buts, maybes, a lot of almosts. But I'm just saying how Moyes was looking at this. I think he comes out with some positivity. I think he's, I wouldn't say buoyed by it, but just listen to his comments. Now, that is either going to encourage you. I have a suspicion it will disturb you. Because whilst he's encouraged and he thinks it's worked, it means he's not seen the flaws. It means he's not seen what has actually gone wrong and the reasons why we lost. Just take you through it now, just quickly. It says manager David Moyes admitted the team could find no answer to Adama Traore. Well, we knew this beforehand. The manager made a good point in claiming that the winner could not have changed the game so dramatically had it been dealt with. Basically saying we should have dealt with the cross. Yes, they should have done, because they had a warning, the shot across the bows just before that. Anyway, he says his involvement in the second goal, whilst not critically important, Traore started the approach work and then moved that ended in the goal. Moyes said that the team had done very well for a long time, but then came Traore. Almost like he didn't know he was going to come on. Well, we all knew he was going to come on. Well, many of us thought, I thought he would start. I think he's a fantastic player. Having made it clear the cross for the first goal should have been dealt with, he turned to the Hammers plus points and said that Declan Rice had produced a very good performance at central defence. Yes. He said Declan did really well and has a quality on the ball, of course. We missed that from midfield, but he did really well. That worries me, just the way he said that. Yes, he said that we missed him in midfield, but he's... You know, I mean, he's also saying... am I read that wrong? Is there not a hint there that he might play Declan there again? He said we were short up front. And that's why there have been so few chances. But I am happy with the way we played for a long time. I knew it. I'm not just saying that having read it. When someone Gio just done a player ratings video, I said it in there before I'd even seen the thing. I suspected he was happy. He said, the players stuck at it. We have tough games to come. Right, Tottenham and Chelsea he's talking about. But then some games after to which we must be better suited. He's not doing that thing, is he? He's not doing that thing where he's almost... I don't think he threw today, by the way. I really don't think he threw today. Not at all. Sorry, today. It's today. By the time you watched this yesterday, I don't think he threw the game against Wolves. I think he thought it would work. But that's what we're getting against Chelsea. That's what we're getting against Tottenham. We better hope for clean sheets. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on the matter for now. Now we got Alan coming up. Alan, thank you very much for sending this in, my friends. Please do reply to Alan in the comments. All the other videos have been uploaded with the people. We're going to be doing this every game. Lots of content. It's your opportunity to speak. Get things off your chest. I hope you're not getting things off your chest if you send things in on the Tottenham game. Hopefully we're celebrating a win. Well, we're all going to be in a lot of trouble if this happens from now until the end of the season. Take it away, Alan.
Okay, so my thoughts on West Ham 0, Wolves 2. I thought in the first half we were very poor. I thought we lacked any sort of desire to go and win the ball back. I thought Noble looked completely out of place. I thought Souček was poor, and I thought we really lacked Declan Rice in the middle. I thought when we won the ball back, we really lacked creativity. There was no width. Fornals was constantly wanting to play through the middle. Anderson wasn't creating anything, and Bowen, despite his best efforts, couldn't really get into the game. It seems strange to me playing Anderson through the middle when he seems to naturally be a winger, and Fornals out wide when he seems to want to play through the middle. But luckily we went in at half-time still at 0-0, which was a surprise, but one I think we were all grateful for. In the second half, the Wolves changes were quite predictable. I was disappointed that the players didn't anticipate the crosses. They didn't anticipate the fact that Traore was going to beat his man down the flanks and get the ball into the box. They weren't expecting the cross, and they were beaten by it on both occasions. What disappointed me most, however, was David Moyes and his reluctance to make any sort of substitutions. Anderson for Lanzini was like for like. There was no creativity in there. There was nothing to give Wolves anything to think about. And ultimately, we were 1-0 down and then 2-0 down. and we had 2 strikers on the bench, and neither of them came on. You know, Ajeti and Silva are both unproven in that division, but they are strikers, and there's not a lot of point having them on the bench if you're not going to bring them on to at least try and impact the game. I thought they should have come on at some point, one or both of them, just to mix things up a bit, push a second player up front, give Wolves something to think about, which is something that we didn't do throughout the whole game. In the next 2 games, I can see us struggling. Spurs without the fans, I can see us lacking the passion that the fans do give. And Chelsea, I just think, are a much better side than us. I can't see us getting anything from those 2 games. But I do think we need to get Jack Wilshere involved. He's probably going to pick up another injury at some point. But I think at some point we need to get him involved in the game. I think if we can get 1.5, 2 games out of him, he could be someone who makes a difference for us. I think we need to hope over the next few weeks that the other sides around us get as few points as possible, and we can stay close to them so that going into the last 5 or 6 games of the season, we've got a fighting chance. But this is the first time this season that I've actually strongly believed that we are going to get relegated this season. I can't see us winning a game. I can't see us creating enough chances to score goals and win a game. And we're not strong enough at the back to keep a clean sheet. So, unfortunately, I think we may be on the way down this season.
Yeah, yo, front doors, motherfucker, open it wide up. How you mean? Yeah, MC step up, what? Fuck a list of love. Yo, as open closed windows to us hoes today. No cars to feel like road hoes, call it freeway. Front doors, so some back doors shut like the front gate. I'm the pool boy, rude boy, bitch, make a mistake.